Hey guys, it's Uncle Scott. Welcome back to the QwerkyReax channel. And before we jump into the music today, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the first person to ever give me a super thanks on the channel. I didn't even know that that was kind of a thing because I watch YouTube a lot, but I never got into the whole, how you give people money kind of thing. I just never really figured it out. But this was super awesome. His name is Tom Brown. I really appreciate it. And the only reason I'm bringing it up because you guys, I don't ask you to subscribe. I don't ask you to like. I do ask you to comment, but that's just because I want you to tell me the next songs I should see and everything else. And you guys have been super kind in the comments, so I appreciate it so much. But I never really expected anyone to kind of give me any kind of like money or tip for this kind of thing. I mean, it's awesome. I'll take it. But there's a special reason I'm bringing it up today. First, I want to read you the comment that he wrote just because I thought it was so nice of him to do this. And it's kind of fitting for what's happening today. So the super thanks comment was, as a big fan of Ren and very familiar with Brighton, where a lot of his stuff is filmed, it's great seeing a reactor so immersed in the world of Ren. Tim is loads of fun, and I can't help but have a huge crush on Scott. Keep up the great work, guys. Okay, first of all, thank you. That's very nice of you. I will take crushes from anywhere in the world, so I appreciate you. Also, I really appreciate you sending a super thanks. This is kind of insane to me, but so greatly appreciated. And what you didn't know and couldn't know, which is kind of absolutely crazy, is the day you sent that, I got laid off from my job. I have a full-time or had a full-time job on the side. I've been working at this place for 6.5 years. They're going through a corporate merger at the time, right now. And so they laid off about 20% of their workforce last week. And I got caught up in all of that. So unfortunately, I don't have a job, so that super thanks is definitely going to be used to, probably buy food. So thank you very much for sending that. I really appreciate it. And legitimately, the only reason I brought up the super thanks and the fact that you did this, I was going to thank you on the channel anyway for the comments and everything else. But I just thought it was what a crazy thing that you sent it that day. And I'm a big person who believes in like energy in the universe. I also literally that day was obviously thinking like, okay, what do I do now? Because this was unexpected that they laid me off. So, and that kind of seemed like a sign like, hey, invest more in the channel, pay more attention to the channel, do more with the channel. So I'm going to try to do that as much as I can. Got a couple ideas that are brewing that I'm going to try to do. So just wanted to say a special shout out to Tom. Thank you so much, man. It really does mean a lot. And the timing of it meant more than you could possibly understand. And to the rest of you who watch, thank you so much for being as kind as you are and for commenting and being part of this musical journey for me, because believe me, music sometimes is the only thing that gets us through. He replied to his own super thanks comment, which, oh, how awesome is that? And he said, by the way, you may wish to react to Fentanyl by Knox Hill featuring Ren, which premieres tomorrow. I got to tell you, Tom, great minds think alike, because when I saw that that was premiering last week, I think it was Friday, I said, ooh, that's what I'll do for Monday's video, because I already had Friday's video planned. It was Tim's reaction to the Cujo beatdown madness, and I didn't want to muddy the waters with a new reaction just from me. So I had already planned on doing this when I saw Ren put out that it was dropping on Friday. So the fact that you mentioned it too is just awesome. So great minds. And again, thanks for sending me a few shekels. I appreciate it. Anyway, that being said, again, hopefully you guys have learned that I do chapters to all my videos now, and I do them manually. Some people do them through the AI system, which means they can be off, but I do them like down to the second so that you guys know it's going to exactly where you need to be for the next chapter. So if you didn't want to listen to all of this, hopefully you knew to skip to just the music part. If you didn't, you'll know for next time. Okay, let's jump in. I'm super excited to see this. Now, I'll be honest, I have not listened to any Knox Hill music. I have seen his reaction channel and have seen some of his reactions to Ren's music because I watch all the reactions to Ren's music because it's Ren, or as many as I can possibly find. But I've never really gotten into his music. I know he kind of raps and does similar stuff to Ren. I'm not saying he is Ren, but I know that he does stuff similar to him. So I say we just jump in. I really have no idea what to expect here other than I think it's going to be a lot of rapping. Maybe Ren's coming in with some musicality to it. I have no idea. I also don't know, is this like a lyric video? It says official music video. So did they actually go out and shoot a music video like he did with Chris Webby? Or is it more like what he did with Prof, where this is just there's going to be like a thing on the screen? Time will tell, and that time is legit right now. Let's do it.
Conscious rap was vibing, but they said it wasn't selling. So instead of tribe, the question was for highs. I guess I get it. But we sold our De La Souls and reassigned the proper metrics. Violent rap survived and Darwinized the prophet zealots. Survival of the fittest. Trade your bars for gems and you'll be shining. That's the realest. In this climate of addiction style, Big Pharma is the realest. Now as long as pills are filling, you ain't really gotta feel the sound. The world is full of juice, and while you floating, you've been finna drown. How many rappers out here missing out? But they
Okay, I know it's only 30 seconds in, but first of all, okay, Knox has got bars, right? But also only needed to see the bottom of his mouth, and I knew exactly who that was. We all did, right? You all knew that was Ren as soon as you saw the lips, because how many times have you like watched his mouth while he's singing, just trying to catch all the lyrics he's spitting? That was awesome. Yep. Need I say more? You could tell right away. Yep, that's Ren.
Full of juice, and while you floating, you've been finna drown. How many rappers out here missing out? But they sell you with this vision and this fear of missing out. The industry will fuck us, so we follow what is trending. Brag about these hollow tips, but it's all hollow tip dependent. I lace my verse with fentanyl and lean into attention. Toe tags for the mentions, body bags for what they spending. While they bragging, we descended from the ground. We all descendants now.
Sinners don't sleep in this broken town, trading their souls for some golden brown. Feel the release, come back down. But when I'm coming up, killers on the city streets bagging it up. Crooks and addicts with habits get rushed. We living in vain just to end it all, and I spend it all on the fentanyl.
My cousin was
not to stop right after Ren, but you're probably not shocked. I love the combination there. How, you know, Knox is just straight spitting. I don't know if he sings too, but I'm guessing not. And I love how Ren came in kind of how I guessed he might, with the musicality of it and singing, adding kind of a melody to it so that it makes it more of a conventional, you know, rap chorus kind of song. That's really dope. I really dug this. I really dug that part right there. And, you know, they're not just talking about the drugs here and what's going on. They're talking about the music industry. If you're really listening to the bars, that's what they're talking about.
My cousin was a pitcher on that curve. He got that scholarship on campus. He's the man. Throwing heat as he was hot as shit, but then he hurt his arm. Senior year's time to prove it. Started taking painkillers so he could play and keep it moving. Scouts watching, couldn't lose him, so he took more and he kept using. Before he knew it, he's abusing fastballs and two seams. Too clean, but now he's losing weight. Drug test he failed, so they kicked him off the team. He tried to kick the habit, but he's mad that he had lost his dreams. He's sad, but he got off the lane. But all it takes is one reminder. In his mind, he couldn't help it. He was trying to finally settle. Midnight, he went outside. He was fighting with his devils. One hit, he told himself, it'll help me through this hell. I know I'm sick and I need help, but one hit, man, what the hell? So he lit it, then he took it to the face. But as the story goes, you know that fentanyl is lace.
Bro, that verse was incredible. Knox, you'll never see this, but that was fire. That whole story that you just told, and you laid it out, and it had to be like 30-40 seconds. That was intense. It was well put, and it told the whole story. And I'm hoping, I mean, it happens this way for a lot of cousins of a lot of people out there, obviously, because of how prevalent and deadly fentanyl is. But if this is a true story, I hope your cousin's okay. The way you ended it right there with, you know, as the story goes, fentanyl is usually laced. That's not verbatim, but that's the gist of what he just said. I hope he's okay, because usually when it's laced, that means people don't survive it. That was intense, man. You told that story in a great way, and in a way that makes it super relatable, especially with how often this happens to so many people. I really dug that.
Face, but as the story goes, you know that fentanyl is lace.
Sinners don't sleep in this broken town, trading their souls for some golden brown. Feel the release, come back down. But when I'm coming up, killers on the city streets buying it up. Crooks and addicts with happy escape rush. We living in vain just to end it all, and I spent it all under fentanyl.
One more quick thing, and then I'll try to let the rest of this play out, but who knows? Because we're at like the halfway mark. How uncharacteristic is it for Ren to be a drug dealer? Like, we can't not acknowledge that, right? It's just crazy. It's also kind of crazy that this is coming after the Cujo beatdown, when we saw what happens when you like piss Ren off. So we get to see kind of these. We get to see his range, is all I'm saying. Not saying that Ren's suddenly becoming a drug dealer. I just think it's funny that, you know, he's a bad guy basically in this video. But he's not a bad guy with the music. He is bringing the fire with this melody. I really love his singing part. It's really dope.
And I spent it all under
Took my heart, you took my fucking life. Took my pride, you took my mind. Took who I am and turned to vice. Took my fam, I burned the price. And now I stand on murdered time. And all my plans have turned to ice. I burn in fire, build this pyre higher. I'm wired in this dopamine, get higher. Still a broken fiend, supplier of the hopeless dreams. When it's all smoke, the only rope's the one that chokes. Would they remember me? Take all my memories and light them on this fire. Fire for the crooked dealer, he who packaged hate. Fire for that greedy villain, he who had it laced. Fire for my future, that look on my father's face. My mother's still in tears, my cousin, he's too far away. When they told me to get help, and yes, I tried again. But in the end, we're all just veins. And in the end, it came to veins. And in the end, I died in vain. And in the end, I tried to fuck it.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Bro. Yeah, what's this say? The CDC reports that from 1999 to 2021, opioids, including fentanyl, have caused over 500,000 deaths in the U.S. Bro. That's crazy. In 2023 alone, fentanyl took 74,702 lives. Yeah, but it's not an epidemic, right? And then, you know, it's got a support line. That's crazy. Yeah, I think Knox really crushed this. And, you know, one of my favorite bars in there, which I kind of said, but I don't know if you guys could hear, is he said, "We've built this pyre higher." And he's talking about how, like, everything's burning up. And pyre is such an old school word. I don't know. I'm not trying to mansplain the English language. I'm just saying it's not a word you hear often. Pyre, Pyre, you know, it's basically like, you know, you building kind of like, it's a thing that burns. It kind of looks like a bonfire, but it's just this big thing that burns. But for him to say, to build this pyre higher, that's such a bar, because not just because of the meaning behind it and the lyricism, but to think of that rhyme and to put that rhyme scheme in there like that, I really liked that. This was a really, this was like, first it's a, you know, it's a beat. You kind of have to go with it. Then Ren coming in with the music is a perfect blend of it. But then the message was not just important, but he told it. He didn't just say, hey, don't do drugs. He kind of said, like, we've got a problem here and it affects everything and everyone. And let me tell you how. Here's a story, and here's how it relates to me. And here's how it can start with one member of your family and spread to the next member of your family. This was really good, man. I might check out more of Knox's stuff. If you guys are Knox Hill fans and you think there's another of his songs that I should check out, like, you know, what would you put at the top of the list? I'm guessing this isn't like his High Ren, and High Ren's like the first thing I show everybody from Ren. So what would be the first thing you would show from Knox Hill? Definitely let me know in the comments, because I'd be willing to check out more of him. This was great. Also, before I go, can we just point out, I was never going to listen to a Knox Hill song. That was never going to happen. I've got too many other things going on. Unless one of you randomly said, hey, are you listening to Knox Hill? Because he's fire. Unless you like commented that, I probably wasn't going to pay attention. But what did he do? He did. Now, I know he's done interviews with Ren, but what did he do here? He did a song with Ren. Ren liked him. Ren likes that he was reacting to his stuff way back in the day. So I've heard, like I said, I've watched Knox's reactions. So I've seen him, you know, that he understands music, that he understands the lyrics, and he understands how hard it is to do some of the stuff that Ren does. So like, I know who Knox Hill is. My point is that Cujo is dumb. He's a moron. I was never going to watch Knox Hill music. The chances are super slim. And now here I am doing a reaction video to one. Why? Because he did a collab with Ren, the legend, the GOAT. But Cujo was like, nah, just give me more money. I don't want to collab with you. Turned him down. Turned the olive branch down. I've ranted about this in like 3 different videos. I won't do it again here. But as if we needed more evidence, which we don't really need, there you go. Here's a perfect example of someone that I probably never would have heard their music, where I'm now listening to their music and asking to hear more of it because he did a collab with Ren. That's like Scarlet Faye. I would have never found Scarlet Faye. I would have never found Chinchilla if both of them hadn't done collabs with Ren. Like, and you can say, oh, well, Cujo could be like, well, you need to broaden your horizons, Scott. You need to be open to everybody's music. Man, who has time for that? There's so much music out there. You guys have introduced me to Dimash. You've introduced me to Diana, whose last name I always screw up, so I'm not going to say it now. Like, you've introduced me to all these new people that I never would have found if it hadn't been for this channel and hadn't been for this music, which goes back to the thanks that I gave you at the start of this video. I'm just saying, like, you can't just assume that everyone's going to come across your music, bro. And so when you get offered a legendary, amazing opportunity like the one Ren offered you, you step up. You don't let the cojones shrivel up and tuck your tail between your legs and walk away while being greedy at the same time. Freaking dumbass. Anyway, on to a more pleasant note. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you. You know I do. Thank you again to Tom for the super thanks, which I mentioned at the start of this video. That was really awesome of you. And like I said, the timing couldn't have been better. So I appreciate you, brother. And yeah, like I say, and I'm telling you right now, if you think I'm not taking my own advice, you're crazy, because I have repeated this mantra to myself multiple times since losing my job last week. Please, please, please don't wait for life to be easy to be happy.